This is day 2 or 3. I just got home from work. I was expecting a radiator on my front porch and it's not there. So unfortunately, I won't be doing much fabrication tonight. I'm probably not even gonna do anything tonight besides go inside and spend time with the old lady. I worked 10 hours in a warm shop, and to come home to a freezing shop, I have no motivation. So we still have plenty of time before this Jeep has to be done. And the list is getting kind of small. A lot of it's going to be prep work and painting and reassembly and stuff like that, but I need the radiator and it's not here. So hopefully it gets here tomorrow so we can actually do something. Yo, what is up guys? So big news, the missing piece of the puzzle has showed up, but just got off work and it's freezing in the garage. Feel motivated now that I see that boxes finally show up in my house. So let's go ahead and get a fire started and dress up a little bit warmer, and we'll get to a little bit of an unboxing video. Woo! This is exciting. The first unboxing video on my channel. So let's go ahead and pull this out. Looks all right. It's aluminum. You gotta fuck at me. Well, that is not what I ordered. These are supposed to be on the same side. And there's no way that is 26 inches wide. Let me get a tape measure. 19, that's right, and 22. So awesome. That is not the right radiator, though it looks cool. That ain't right. So let's call Jags. Okay, well, after a long conversation with Jags online, first I emailed them and then they went ahead and shot me a call real quick. So yeah, they said that is not the right radiator. They go through a third party as far as their shipping, so I guess it's drop shipped. The part number is similar, but it's not it. I guess what happened was the radiator I actually ordered, they did not have in stock, and this is what they sent. Nor do I really care at this point, but after talking to them for a little bit, they pretty much are just gonna refund me the difference. I think I can make this work, and truthfully, it'll be a little less work. The only way I can see this as a negative is if for some reason I run this radiator and down the road it's not enough. So I shot a phone call real quick to my buddy Tim. He has an LS swapped S10. He's pretty smart when it comes to anything swap related. So I told him, I said, hey, look, I got this small radiator. It's not exactly an LS style radiator, but it is like a 3-inch thick core. It's only 22 inches wide. Is it gonna work? And he said that it should. His is a single pass as well. So let's just go for it. I guess bittersweet. I got a little bit of a discount on a radiator, but hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me in the butt. So let's see if it's gonna work at all. Went ahead and threw this radiator in the grill as if it was in a factory location. And truthfully, as long as this thing doesn't overheat, it'll work out in my favor. I'll be able to weld some bungs or tabs right down along this radiator and possibly bolt it right to the grill. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. The nice thing is too, it's only 19 inches tall, so I'll pretty much be right at a mount spot and just barely over top the grill. And with the way the hood sits on this, I think it'll clear. But wherever I end up putting these tabs, I'll make sure to leave a little bit of wiggle room up or down. That way we can kind of get it fitted in there good. All right, so what I'm gonna do right now that I think the radiator's probably going to work, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the track bar and put the front suspension the whole way down at bump and kind of just make sure that none of the suspension components are gonna run into that radiator. I don't know. I guess I did expect that everything was going to be close, but I really just don't know how close yet without putting this bar back in. So we'll throw that on the Jeep. We'll take it the whole way down to full bump in the front. And we'll check our clearances for the track bar. Yeah. Just got that back in. Let's go ahead and throw the radiator in quick, and we'll take it down to full bump and just make sure all of our clearances look decent. Right down along where the track bar is. All right, well, I'm going to set the radiator in, and things have changed. I officially have a camera girl because I don't have a tripod yet. So come over here. We're going to drop the radiator down in, and we're going to check fitment. Hello. All right, so here's the radiator. As we drop it down in where it's pretty much going to end up, if we go ahead and push down the Jeep, we can take it down to full bump. If I put a slight angle on the radiator, I should be able to clear pretty much everything. Now that upper link bracket there is going to get notched out. We're going to take the upper bolt hole right out of it. So I shouldn't run into any clearance issues there, and it looks like it's just going to pass the track bar. So I think it's going to work. I guess we'll find out. To be determined. All right, well, thanks to my assistant, Nicole, my beautiful fiance. Get inside, make me dinner. Okay, cool. All right, so we know that the radiator should work. I can't guarantee that it definitely will, but I'm really hoping it does. It's a pretty cool angle, huh? Yeah, this whole film without a tripod thing is pretty inconvenient, but I've been making do. I'm gonna try to pick one up this weekend so we can get a little bit better shots and me just not vlogging to you guys all the time. I'm sure you guys really enjoy it. I mean, who wouldn't want to look at this freaking stud all the time? You guys like what I did there? Pretty sly, huh? So now that we know the radiator fits, that's huge. I pretty much just gained back. Let me make myself look a little cooler. Oh yeah, that's cool. So I pretty much just gained back a whole day of my life on this build. Originally I set aside pretty much one full day to go ahead and make that big radiator fit. But now that we have a small one, I think that's gonna speed up the process a lot. It's a lot less fabrication, a lot less time grinding and cutting and the boring stuff that you guys don't wanna see anyway. I'm trying to be systematic here. I'm definitely not good at that, but I don't want to take something apart just to have to put it back together. So let's see what the list says. Slide that incorrect box out of the way. Okay, the infamous list. Well, I just perused my list real quick, and the big thing was making sure that radiator fits. And now that I know it does, I'm not too concerned about spending the time right now getting the radiator fit there in the front end of the Jeep. I know that I pretty much can go ahead and blow this chassis down. That way I can go ahead and start welding it out. But to do that, we're going to have to get the front axle out, rear axle out, the body off, engine, transfer case, everything out of the way. The problem is I'm tight on room. So I'm gonna have to spend a little bit of time cleaning up the shop, making room to set the body over there, the engine and transmission somewhere in here. And then we're gonna get the chassis moved back a little closer to the welder so we can start burning everything in. Next thing on the agenda is going to be starting to strip the Jeep. Do I do that too much? Do you guys like when I point to stuff? Well, let me know. The next thing is going to be pulling the front axle. There's a lot of things on there that still need welded. The links need to come off and the bungs that are inside that DOM. Did you just say bung? Yeah, I said bung. I didn't say bung hole. So we gotta get those off. We gotta weld the bungs the whole way around. Tomorrow we're gonna paint them, and I gotta pick up a torch from my dad so I can weld where my shock tower mounts are, because they're right on cast and you gotta preheat them for them to stay. So a lot of stuff that I'm just pretty much preparing myself for tomorrow, but let's go ahead and at least start pulling the front axle. I feel like I didn't make any good mechanical progress in this video, so let's go. All right, so there's all my front 3 links. And like I said, they still need all burned in. They're just tacked here. So we'll go ahead and clean everything up, pull the heims out, go ahead and burn everything in, and then they'll get painted tomorrow. But the axle is, never mind, it is almost technically out. I gotta get the track bar out now. Bad at all. All right, well, let me get in frame so my bros can see me. All right, well, the front axle is officially out of the Jeep. I don't know what time it is, probably almost 9 o'clock at night now, but that's on the ground. Links are on the ground. So tomorrow we're gonna be doing a lot of welding. We're gonna go ahead and prep the axle. That way we can preheat the cast and burn that all in, so we don't have to worry about any future, man, it's getting hot in here from the fire, future issues. As far as the weld breaking off the cast. Everything else should be fine on the tube. So I guess, I don't know, we'll see you tomorrow and we'll kind of go from there. What are you doing? Ooh, good boy, huh? Let's go outside. It is day yes. It is day yes. And we have yes amount of days left to finish this. It's hot. That's good. A little jolt of energy. All right, so I think where I left off yesterday was we pulled front axle out and we got the links out. So the objective today is going to be pulling the heims out of the links, and we're going to go ahead and weld those bungs in. Probably scuff them up, and if we can get it hot enough in here, we'll go ahead and throw a little paint on the links, but it's cold. First, we're going to finish the coffee. All right, now let's work on the links. Okay, just threw these up on the bench here. Generally, I do all of my welding over here right off of this vise. I don't have a nice metal welding table yet to come in due time. But quick little facts about the links. They are DOM tubing from our local supplier. My lower links are 2 inch in diameter. They are 250 wall. They use 1 1/4 inch Heim. My upper link is 1 3/4 inch. I can't remember the wall thickness. I want to say it's like 188. All of the Heims came from Barnes 4-wheel drive. So far, I've been pretty happy with their products. I used it for all my mounts, the Heims. My skid plate is also from Barnes. And so far, I'm pretty happy with their products. So let's get these threaded out and we'll go ahead and clean it up and burn them in. The one downside to having your garage connected to your house is all the smoke you make out in the garage lingers through that door, and you always can smell it no matter what. All right, so what I was referring to about preheating the cast was this outer knuckle on the axle itself is actually made out of a cast where the tube itself is not. So the preferred method of welding this is to go ahead and preheat it to about 400 degrees and then go ahead and MIG weld it in. Some guys will say arc welding is the best for it. I don't have one here at the house, so we're just gonna MIG it. Others say you should use a cooling blanket to let it all cool down at a nice slow pace. But I think we'll just come over, we'll take the MAP gas and we'll just go ahead and blast a little heat in it while it cools down. So let's weld it. Well, as you can see, it is a smoke show inside the shop. That was a lot of welding, but all of the mounts are officially burned onto the axle. The only thing we really have left on this axle to do is go ahead and trim the top of that bracket off. And I'm gonna be running a different full hydro mount. I'm not gonna be doing the single headed ram like this, so that'll end up getting chopped off yet. And then we'll be running basically a front truss or a skid in the front of the axle where the dual ram is going to sit, and we'll get rid of that tie rod. When I bought this axle, it was actually already set up like this. You can see the guy who had it before me did a little bit of custom fabrication right there. So I'm gonna leave that on for now. Eventually I'd like to put reed knuckles on this front end. So for now, it's perfectly fine. This is gonna be the end of the video. It's the end of the night, end of the video. If what you're watching right now doesn't make sense at all and you have no clue who I am, go down and watch my first video. It's called My First Day on YouTube. Small little introduction into the project, and we start working then. If you guys want to follow my Instagram, it's hunkajunk. Follow me on there too. That is going to be a lot more up to date as far as the build is going along, but I never mentioned in a video. If you do go to my Instagram, go ahead, follow me and leave a comment on one of my pictures. That way I know that you came from YouTube, and I kind of get a better idea that these videos are actually reaching out to the public. We're going to continue this build. We're going to continue these videos, so make sure you check back soon. Thanks.